But it is a bit of a tell, and it's something that Sotekas is going to have a look at. Knows that he's going to be pushed a little bit more. It's sort of earning Vikings more of a push into that B site, and right now, Crazy Raccoon have to sort of give it up a little bit.
Looks like they're already setting up for some sort of retake, and well, it's not going well at all. They've lost a couple of duels straight off the bat, leaving just Bazzi and Ade remaining. Trying to... FRZ, he's not normally someone who plays this right now, so I was thinking maybe he'll be a little bit more passive, a little bit more calm in the way he kicks things off. Not at all. I think that knife connected. That knife connected onto a couple of players. Look at the rotation from Crazy Raccoon. They've already brought back 3, even 4 members onto B. That one piece of utility has found so much for them, but it doesn't seem to matter. Still, both double entries come through, but the wall is broken. They're actually going to be able to get the res off, sort of. Did he actually get him up? No, he didn't. So he's died, and his teammate's probably going to die as well. The time may be ticking, but the afterplan likely to come through, and GTN just hitting absolutely everything. It's left onto Ade once again, Ryan. 1 versus 3, and he's not going to find anything on the cross. A decent rotation, trying to make sure this round is as clear as possible. It's always going to be helpful. And well, Fiska's managed to find one. They also popped a Hunter's Fury. They are using a lot for a round that ultimately should be an easier one, and Neff has now snuck his way through as well. This has come back to one of the closest situations. He'll need to hit some more shots, and he's doing it with the pistol. It's left into a 1v1 scenario. The Sovas facing off each other, the other looking to try and clear out the doppelganger. Sassy's going to make his move to the site. He's actually already tagged down. So a shot from this Marshall could be enough to win the round for Bazzi, but he has to try and find him almost instantly. The timing, he missed twice, but finally gets it through.
Very aggressive, racking up the kills. He's been pulled back a little bit. Now that the op's online on his defense, though, it could be a bit of an issue for Vikings, considering they only have layers as flashes to clear.
Oh, he's going to go back for a little bit more, and in fact, gets Sudikas
to clear this. That Sassy might actually
he'll see their feet, right? Because he's put it high enough? I think he should have done, unless he hasn't put it on the top right boxes, but that would... They've gone over him. I feel like he should have been able to see... Yeah, he was looking down, so I feel like he should have been able to see them. Instead, they've bypassed his Viper's Pit, and he's slowly being surrounded. This has gone completely wrong from Ade. I feel like he put it in the right spot. He's now almost stuck in no man's land, and they're starting to try and hump him. Somehow, though, he is still surviving, and they're just unable to clear. This has turned into just one man standing, and Sassy, he gives it a nice attempt. Vikings haven't looked quite as strong. Death as well, just remaining in this angle. The fragment will deny them that extra space. They've got to clear him out, but they do. Turning it back into a 3v3 scenario, a likely afterplant, unless Bazzi does something pretty risky. He's actually just going to swing it. There was nobody watching the wall. They just allowed him to go all the way out and kill off the planter. Turning this into a 3v2 situation, leaving that retake at a much more likely stance, and even starting to break their way through the rule. I think Sassy knows it. They need to get a little bit more aggressive here. They need to pick off one of these players, and instead, it's left all onto GTN. A 1 versus 3 scenario, but he swings a little bit too wide. Tagged down to just 65. He's got to try and go up above. He needs to win one of these duels, and he brings it damn close. But it will be great. Got ults on either side. That has not gone great for Fiska. This is incredibly aggressive in their push-up. Both teams with a weaker buy, but it has somewhat worked out. They've come out with a positive trade. GTN, though, has used this time to garner a lot of space. He's even going to hear them tapping. A chance! But around like this, I really don't mind them taking these sort of risks, like making those rotations back and trying to stack up one of the sides, because realistically, you're not going to win this round or even do damage in this round in any other way. But it does mean, for the umpteenth time this game, we've got an afterplan on the A side for Vikings.
Interesting what they use now, especially now that Munchkin's able to get one kill. If he can get another, he can't. Stardock's just watching, the peak gets wider and wider. And this is, again, Vikings having that big advantage. They have the economy, they have an open A site, which is where they've been most successful. They're still losing 2 players to lower guns, and even more now, the Bazzi's managed to get the Vandal in hand.
I don't know if there's anything that Sutekas can even do here. He's being blocked off, so he can't actually swing, and he's hoping to try and find something off the wall bank, but he gets absolutely...
Casting like 2 ships passing in the night. That was like 6 ships. all getting past each other with a Viper's Pit used. That huge advantage that Crazy Raccoons started the round with. They lost a player early on. Vikings will have no idea how they were able to win this round and how they could have lost it, but now it's getting scrumbly yet again from Fiska.
This shouldn't have been close, but it's starting to. He's been tagged with a drone. That will actually remove the Viper's Pit. You wanted that null. Commanders come through, turning things into this 2v2 scenario, but the spike is ticking. They need to get a move on if they're going to stand a chance in this round, and you can already see the positioning is solid, but already one gets cleared off. They're just sticking this all the way through. He needs to deny it, and somehow...
The Vikings this side at least. Fisker actually peeking out. Sadak catches onto him. And now this is a dangerous spot for Munchkin, and he's looking around, still manages to connect when he needs to. The mechanical skill is still there. Fragment's going to try and delay despite being planted, but he goes off the site, and it's just really crushing Vikings into a spot. They're holding on. Neff picking up the operator, now using it himself from Fisker's corpse. Sassy holding closer.
It's starting to look workable. The problem is the spike still isn't on the ground. They need to put this into place. The pop flash, he blinded himself. Munchkin, but it doesn't matter. There's 15 seconds. It's all down to the attackers to try and make a move here. They've managed to clear on Munchkin already. Looking to try and swing in onto Buzzy, but I don't think there's going to be any chance for them here. Spike dropped onto the ground, and Sassy, it's an impossible task, or at least it seems, and Ade plays it to perfection. It is going to be the return of Crazy Raccoon.
Yeah, that's a pretty good testament in itself, and Munchkin, you want to see him come online as well, whether it's the utility, the firepower, finds an opening, traded out from Sassy, and we might be looking at a retake on A yet again.
It is looking like it. Now the spike yet to be planted, just waiting maybe for a little bit of extra aggression, trying to make sure there's no space lost as they get themselves into those afterplant positions, although not really much utility to use in the afterplants. It's just going to come down to the firefights, but luckily for Crazy Raccoon, they're winning all of them. It is GTN and Sassy, probably the two players you'd want in this sort of clutch scenario, but I feel like they need a miracle, Ryan.
Sassy now trying to lead the line. GTN with the Sheriff couldn't find the kills, and then suddenly maybe Sassy's found a bit more than he bargained for. Neff.
Because the wall has not really covered them off at all. He has been spotted. That last bullet just takes it clean off. Neff is gone. Spike is on the ground. For the attackers here, this becomes a very awkward scenario. We've had the ultimate thrown in as well from Munchkin, so they're definitely a bit more costly than maybe they would have liked. And there was some decent investment into this one, into rifles as well. Yeah, I don't really blame them. I don't think you want that man getting back up, although I'm certain they'll hear it if that's the case. And, well, it's now left into a 2 versus 3 scenario. Of course, it is still somewhat of a bonus round for Crazy Raccoon, but I think winning this is starting to look difficult unless some mistakes are made. And Ade, he's at least trying to bring something home here. But
and that close hold actually coming in from Fisker is going to eventually get punished from Mephazi once he gets a glimpse.
Yeah, they're running out of time. 15 seconds. Spike not planted. They need to make their way to the site. I think this comes into a save. If not, it's going to be so much they need to try and achieve. But Munchkin coming in on the flank could be the difference maker. The spam through, the spinning to try and get the plant down has failed miserably. And while that clock was just far too low, Vikings...
But there's a little bit of space behind. GTN is constantly trying to push. That's a lot of space that he could take as well towards yellow. And Fisker now gets the kill down to 20 HP. He's the one holding here. The utility and the rest of the team is starting to follow through in the end. Vikings have done well to just keep Crazy Raccoon at bay here.
Yeah, the rotation's still not through yet from FRZ, but it might not matter. Sassy, he's almost just doing this all on his own. A one-man retake to try and close things out. Bazzi lands the shot, but Sassy is there. He's having a worldie of a game. 3 kills in this round to give them their 10th. Blocking the other spot. There's only one other place that players can realistically be, and it's aggressive on A. Now this null point again will come through. Will reduce the ability for their opponent's abilities, and they're actually going to use the Viper's Pit. There's already a lot invested into this round. I don't know how much of a counter there's going to be here from Vikings.
Might just be a case of wait. The tippy toes are going to be seen on that one. GTN, that's a nice kill onto Munchkin from distance. There's no supporting utility there, but there wasn't much left from Munchkin at the end of the day either. Sassy now trying to push on through. Neff is holding that line. Just in this meander of different smokes, he's looking to ace it.
This is a big round from Neff. He's managed to find the timing twice to pull off multiple double kills, and it's left all onto Sidikas, and he's just looking for exits. He's trying to kill them all off as they try and exit the site, and the fact is Fisker is dead here. Yep, there should be no way that he manages to escape.
This site, and it's not been that bad on the defense.
You have so much information. Why wouldn't they gamble players at this point? They've already managed to find out that there's nobody pushing on A. Now Munchkin able to take that shot. KGTN, that was dirty. That was a nice shot. The res is coming through on the other side. Sassy, no way he manages to get away with that. And the best thing is, he's also got his ultimate. The spam coming through isn't going to find anything, but he instead will be able to pop that Hunter's Fury and clear out Neth, bringing this round back from the fray. Turning it into a 5 versus 3 now. This duel could be everything. Now the patience of FRZ actually means he's going to get the kill for free. He picks off Munchkin, and although there's afterpart utility coming through, it doesn't look like it's worked at all, unless that was some counter utility that had been thrown out. It hasn't denied them, and Ade realizes there's nothing he can do at this point. He's just hoping the snake bites can do something for him here. But bye, Crazy Raccoon stinks. So they're going to need someone to be a hero. Luckily, Fisker might have just done that. From the Vikings leaves this as a very tough spot, and in fact, they're not ready for these swing peaks. If anything, at this stage, I feel like Crazy Raccoon have to back off.
Might not even be given that opportunity. Steakhouse is still holding on to this high ground. This toxic screen is just doing what they want it to do. It's forcing Crazy Raccoon into these positions, but now it's no longer going to be a factor at this point. 2 versus 3 now. Resurrect is available for Neth. But this close hold from Vikings, actually, never mind. They think it's another site. They're moving away.
Yeah, there's so little time left, though. The second they hear this, there's going to be a rotation. I am very surprised that Neth is currently holding the Stinger. Like, this is not the gun that you want to be having. And Ade going down, he now has to pull off maybe the greatest clutch you've ever seen with this weapon. I know Lothar might have a smile if he starts going for a few little burst plays, but I think the chances of that are slim to none. Hits the dink on the first. There are actually some tacked players. There is absolutely no way, and Sassy is going to clear him out before that gets too dangerous.